Can I welcome everyone to the first meeting in 2020 of the Delegated Powers and Law Reform Committee, and a Happy New Year to all members and the army of officials that we have with us today. And the first item of business is to propose that the committee takes items 6, 7, 8 and 9 in private, as these involve consideration of future reports. These will be published when agreed. So does the committee agree to that? Thank you. Agenda item 2, we're considering an instrument subject to the affirmative procedure. No points have been raised on the draft Rehabilitation of Offenders Act 1974 Exclusions and Exceptions Scotland Amendment Order 2020. So is the committee content with this instrument? Thank you. And agenda item 3 is to consider instruments that are subject to negative procedure. We've got the Environmental Impact Assessment Transport EU Exit Scotland Amendment Regulations 2019 SSI 2019-415. This instrument amends provisions that will on exit day become retained EU law on environmental impact assessments. And these relate to the construction of new roads and other road and transport works. The wording of the provision inserted by Regulation 3.4 suggests that rights can be derived from a provision of a particular EU directive after the UK leaves the EU. However, Section 4.2b of the European Union Withdrawal Act 2018 provides expressly that rights under EU directives do not become part of domestic law on exit day, subject to certain exceptions. The Scottish Government agrees that the directive does not have legal effect after exit day. However, this could be clearer in the drafting of the instrument. So does the committee therefore agree to draw this instrument to the attention of the Parliament under reporting ground H, as the meaning could be clearer? Thank you. Next is the Plant Health Official Controls and Miscellaneous Provisions Scotland Regulations 2019 SSI 421. This instrument implements the new EU Plant Health Regulation and the plant health elements of the new Official Controls Regulation and associated tertiary legislation. The instrument was laid before the Parliament on the 11th of December 2019. It came into force on the 14th of December, and accordingly it does not comply with the requirement that at least 28 days should elapse between the laying of an instrument which is subject to the negative procedure and the coming into force of that instrument. The committee is therefore required under standing orders to draw the instrument to the attention of the Parliament under reporting ground J, because the instrument fails to comply with the requirements of Section 28.2 of the Interpretation and Legislative Reform Scotland Act 2010. So does the committee agree to draw this instrument to the attention of the Parliament under reporting ground J? Okay, thank you. And is the committee content with the reasons given for the failure to comply with Section 28? Thank you. Next, we've got the Restriction of Liberty Order, etc. Scotland Amendment Regulations 2019 SSI 2019-423. The order updates the list of specified equipment that can be used for the purposes of electronic monitoring in Scotland. It was laid before the Parliament on the 17th of December 2019. It came into force on the 20th of December 2019. So that, as with the previous instrument, doesn't comply with the 28-day requirement, and the committee will be required by standing orders to draw the instrument to the attention of Parliament. However, upon reading what we've got in front of us, I think there are a number of questions the committee may wish to ask about this, specifically why it came about that we had to get this through in 3 days at the end of last year. So what I'll be proposing is that we write to the Scottish Government this week to find out a bit more about that. Are we agreed to that? Okay. Thank you. Agenda item 4, considering an instrument that is not subject to any parliamentary procedure. No points have been raised on SSI 2019-420. So is the committee content with this instrument? Okay, agenda item 5 is consideration of a proposed draft order. No points have been raised on the Public Services Reform Registers of Scotland Order 2020, Scottish Government Document 2019-248, or on the accompanying explanatory document. So is the committee content with these items? Okay, and I'll move the meeting into private.